The night she tried so hard to forget began with a single whispered sentence that never stopped echoing in her chest. If I kiss you now, promise you won't disappear? If you're watching this, don't forget to like this video and subscribe, because stories like this, stories that remind us how love finds us even when we run from it, deserve to be heard. Aisha pressed her fingers against her temple as those old words drifted back again, uninvited, unwelcome, yet somehow warm. 3 years had passed, and still she couldn't outrun that night. She had built her entire life around forgetting it: new job, new city, new routines. But the heart remembers what the mind tries to bury. And no matter how many times she told herself she had moved on, she knew she was lying. Because every time she closed her eyes, she saw one person, Zara. Their story didn't begin like a fairy tale. It began in the quiet space between two broken hearts. Aisha had moved to Lahore after a painful breakup, determined to restart her life with clear lines: work, sleep, repeat. No time for friendships, no time for emotions. Zara, on the other hand, was an artist, messy, expressive, full of colors Aisha had trained herself to ignore. They met when Aisha accidentally walked into a small art exhibition while escaping a rainstorm. She stood drenched, embarrassed, while Zara walked toward her with a smile so gentle it broke something inside Aisha. "You look like the sky cried just to send you here," Zara said, handing her a towel. "Who talks like that?" Aisha wondered. "Poets. Dreamers. Dangerous people, the kind who slip past your walls without asking." And yet, she stayed. What began as a warm conversation turned into coffee. Coffee became late-night talks. Late-night talks became laughter that made Aisha feel alive again. Zara didn't ask her questions she wasn't ready to answer. She simply showed up, with her crooked smile, her paint-smudged fingers, and a softness Aisha didn't know how to resist. But the night everything changed was the night Aisha tried hardest to forget. It was the night Zara finished her biggest painting and insisted Aisha come see it first. The studio smelled of paint and jasmine. The canvas was breathtaking, two women standing back to back, reaching for each other without turning around. Aisha stared at it, confused and moved. "It's us," Zara whispered behind her. "Two people pretending they don't feel the same thing." Aisha's breath caught. Her heart hammered. She wasn't ready, for the truth, for herself, for the world. But Zara touched her hand, trembling, brave. And then came the words that haunted Aisha for years. "If I kiss you now, promise you won't disappear?" Aisha kissed her back, but she did disappear. The fear of being seen, of being vulnerable, of loving another woman in a world that wasn't always kind, it made her run. She left Lahore the next morning without saying goodbye. Not because she didn't love Zara. But because she did. Too much. Too fast. Too deeply. Now, years later, Aisha stood at the entrance of a charity event, an event she had been forced to attend through work, and froze. Because across the hall, under soft golden lights, stood Zara. Her hair was longer, her smile softer, but her presence, still the same. Still enough to make Aisha's heart stutter like it once did. For a moment, Aisha considered leaving. Running again. But her feet refused. And then Zara turned. Their eyes met. A single second stretched into something endless. Zara didn't smile. She didn't frown. She just breathed, as if steadying herself, before walking toward Aisha. The room faded. The music dimmed. Only the sound of their footsteps moving closer existed. "You look the same," Zara said quietly. "You look happier," Aisha replied, her voice almost breaking. Zara held her gaze, searching her face for something: apology, explanation, regret. 3 years, she whispered. "And I never understood why you left." Aisha swallowed hard. "I was scared." "You think I wasn't?" Zara asked. Her voice didn't rise. It cracked. But I stayed. For you. For us. Aisha's chest tightened. The guilt she carried for years finally trembled on her lips. I didn't know how to love someone without losing myself. And now? Zara asked gently. Now. The word felt heavy. Beautiful. Terrifying. Aisha took a slow breath. Now I know that losing myself wasn't the danger. Losing you was. For the first time in years, Zara's eyes softened. Not completely, not with certainty, but with a fragile kind of hope. I'm not angry anymore, she said. I didn't want that night to be all we ever were. It wasn't, Aisha whispered. It isn't. Zara hesitated, then looked at the balcony. Walk with me? They stepped outside. The air was cool, the city alive beneath them. For a few minutes, they said nothing. It wasn't awkward silence, it was the kind that heals. I kept that painting, Zara said finally. The one of the women reaching for each other. Aisha closed her eyes. I'm sorry I made you reach alone. You didn't, Zara replied softly. You just needed time. And what about now? Aisha asked, turning toward her. If I reach for you today, will you take my hand? Zara looked at her for a long moment, studying her, weighing old wounds against new possibilities. And then, slowly, she reached out. Their fingers brushed. Intertwined. You disappeared once, Zara said. But if you stay, just stay. I'm willing to begin again. Aisha's voice shook. I'm not going anywhere this time. And as their hands remained linked, the world finally felt right, like the night Aisha once ran from had finally found its ending, not in forgetting, but in choosing. If you've watched until now, remember to like this video and subscribe to the channel. Because love, real love, deserves second chances. And sometimes the heart remembers what's meant for it long before the mind understands.